Hello and welcome to LA Currents. I'm Anita Bennett. A new tiny home village just opened in Westlake near downtown Los Angeles. Now that shelter is run by a nonprofit called Urban Alchemy. And joining us to discuss this village and some other issues involving the homeless is Wanda Williams. You are the Director of Interim Housing at Urban Alchemy.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about this tiny home village. How many people are housed there?
So at the present time, we have 55 people who are housed there from all walks of life. And at this village, you know, we're able to help each and every person from whatever walk of life, from whatever problems they have. We're able to help them get into another permanent housing.
So this is transitional housing.
It's transitional as well. Although it's interim, it's also transition.
Okay. And the people who are housed there, is it single people, families? Can you tell us about that?
So we have singles, we have couples, but we also have a family.
Oh, you have one family.
We have one family with a mother and a father and an elder son who's about 27 years old.
And what are some of the services offered there?
So we have mental health services. On top of mental health services, we have case management. On top of case management, we have any kind of medical situation they may be going through. They're able to get that, vaccinations, anything and everything we provide it.
Nice. Do you operate more than one shelter in the city?
No, at the present time, I operate 3. We have 2 tiny homes and we have 1 safe sleep.
Can you tell us what a safe sleep village is?
A safe sleep village is a village that we provide tents. So they go from a tent to a tiny home. So it's and we're low barrier, which means that we allow them to come in at any time of the night. They can have animals. There's no curfew. And pretty much they can just live life.
And is that in the safe sleep village? They can, you know, leave whenever they want, or is it at the tiny home villages as well?
It's at all 3.
Okay. And let's elaborate a little bit about the safe sleep village. Is it all tents in one location, and where is that location?
So it's all tents in one location, and that's 2320 South Central Avenue, which is District 9. And you know, they have a tent. They're given a tent. They're given a cot. On top of a cot, they're given a blanket, a pillow, and anything they want to bring at that particular time. 3 meals a day. Yeah, 3 meals a day. There's showers, so they could take showers at all times. Bathrooms, any and everything they need is there for them.
And how many people are there?
So at the present time, we have 90 people there.
Okay. And on average, about how long do they stay?
So they're, it's like any other system. They get 90 days at first. Through the 90 day, after the 90 days, we have the ability to extend their stay. But during that stay, they must get their documentation. They must get their IDs. They must get their Social Security cards. They must get their birth certificates, and where they're going. Where they're going.
And you have people there to help them get these documents.
We have case management that are going on each and every day, helping them get their documents, helping them get legal things, trying to get their children back. We help with all of those different services to get them back into society again.
Okay. I see people all over downtown LA and Echo Park wearing the vest like you have on. Can you tell us about the work that they do?
So we engage each and every person who is experiencing homelessness. We engage them, we assess them, and then we try to move them into being matched into housing. A lot of our people go to the tiny homes. A lot of our people go to the safe sleep. From there, our hope is to get them into some sort of permanent housing.
And you say our people, are you talking about the employees or the homeless?
Both.
Oh. So
Both.
that brings up another question. The employees, a lot of them have experienced homelessness themselves, correct?
Yes. So we have some employees right now that are being housed in our facilities because we believe in giving opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. We also believe in giving jobs. So a lot of our employees who live at villages, they also work with us.
So someone who's experiencing homelessness can get a job with Urban Alchemy.
Yes.
Excellent. And, you know, for some of us, you know, the thought of working on Skid Row would raise concerns. How do you train these employees?
So all of our employees are trained not just in behavior modification, but we're also trained in de-escalating different sorts of behaviors that other people would not want to handle. We're trained, and the most thing that we're trained in because of our lived experience is we're trained in emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence just comes from being a person who's been unhoused, being a person who's been incarcerated, being a person who have messed up communities through being incarcerated. We're able to, our instincts are what we provide. So we're able to see some things that other people are not able to see because we've been there. Lived experience is the greatest teacher.
And what impact has the de-escalation training had? Like when you talk to the employees, what do they say? What's been the impact?
So the impact, from talking to a lot of employees that I deal with, the impact is understanding and knowing, and empathy and understanding, knowing that, you know, this person is really not mad at you. This person really does not want to beat you up, or this person doesn't want this anger issues that they're experiencing. This person's been dealing with these issues for a long time. And that when we personalize those issues is when we go to the other side meaning the dark side. So when we know that this issue is not toward us, we're able to de-escalate a situation even better.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned the formerly incarcerated. You hire them as well, correct?
Yes. Our main goal is to hire formerly incarcerated.
How many employees do you oversee?
So at the present time, I oversee over 100 employees.
Wow. And tell me what they're doing. Are they in the villages? Are they on the streets? Like, what are they all?
So I am the Director of Interim Housing, so all of my employees are in the housing part of our community.
Mm-hmm. So the ones who work at the shelters, are they, tell me what they're doing.
So during the course of a day, they're engaging. Mm-hmm. So a lot of our people, they really, especially those who've been unhoused for a very long time, we have to take them back to civilization. We have to take them back to a place where they learn how to shower again, where they learn how to urinate in the toilet again. So a lot of it is life skills. A lot of it is also, you know, with our care coordination is some counseling, some crying, because a lot of people who we work with have been through a lot of things, you know. And I think sometimes we have a misconception of homelessness, that it's all about people who are drug dependent and people who are that have mental health issues, or people but we don't see that the people who've been displaced. We don't see people who've been displaced through COVID. We don't see people who were a paycheck away. Mm-hmm. We don't see a person like me who was homeless. And I fell on hard times.
How long were you homeless?
I was homeless for 3.5 years.
Here in LA?
I was homeless in LA for a year, and I was homeless in Philadelphia for 2.
How did you overcome that situation?
So one of the things that really helped me in coming to LA was going through grief counseling. I lost my mother, and I went through a very, very trying time. I went through a time of grief. I went through a time of anger, bitterness, and depression. And one of the things I was asked to do, each and every person is given goals. When you come into the shelter system in LA, you're given goals. These are your goals that you must do. And so one of my goals was to go to counseling. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Who directed you to counseling?
Dr. Cromwell from Testimonial. That's the shelter that I was in, was from Testimonial. And one of the things she noticed right away is that I needed some grief counseling.
That's really powerful, and I'm so happy to hear that you were able to get the help that you needed.
Yes.
Do you think that your lived experiences help you in your work?
Yes, most definitely. It helps. It helps because you begin to put yourself in those shoes. Mm-hmm. You begin to say, wow, I know how that feels. You begin to say when those people, when Christmas time comes around, when Thanksgiving comes around, you begin to say, I don't have no family. And what would I do, or what can I do for them that I wanted done when I was in that situation? So yes, I wanted a family setting for Thanksgiving. Yes, I wanted somebody to acknowledge that it was Christmas, and although I didn't have family, the shelter became my family.
You talked about teaching people life skills, which a lot of us, we don't think about that.
Yes.
How do you go about teaching someone these basic life skills that they've lost by living on the streets?
So like a lot of times, we don't find out that they really are in that sort of need until we have room inspections. So when we go into the room and we find buckets of urine, we'll find where, we mark off when people are supposed to take a shower and they haven't taken a shower in over 2 weeks. And we begin to understand that, this person has been so stuck into not being able to shower, not being able to urinate in the toilet. And then we begin to understand, this person needs to go back into that place where they learn again of how to take care of themselves, how to have self-care. So that's, basically that's how we get to that place of learning who needs what.
What type of success have you had with this?
We've had great success. We've gone from, because we had another tent village. It was called Madison. And so we moved from the tent village to the tiny home, which is at Westlake at the present time. Mm-hmm. So we went from only about 12 people taking showers to about 55 now taking showers.
Wow. It's pretty incredible.
Yes. So we have a very large community that really does their self-care every day now. Mm-hmm. So I'm very happy about that.
Do you visit the villages regularly?
Every day.
Wow. So you become friends with the residents?
I become friends with the residents, and the residents are not just my friend, they're my family.
I like that. That's well said. If someone wants to apply to Urban Alchemy, how do they go about that?
Oh, so we have a website, and it's called urban-alchemy.us. And they can go on there and they can apply for a practitioner. All of our people who want to apply, they're practitioners. Because a practitioner means there's a wide range of things that you will become in this position. You're going to become a counselor, you're going to become a parent, you're going to become everything to everybody that everyone needs.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the challenges that you find?
So some of the challenges is that, here in LA, we have 66,000 people who are homeless.
In LA County.
In LA County. And one of the biggest challenges is, moving people on, moving people from that tiny home or from that safe sleep to permanent housing. Because there's so much crowded places, we have to wait a very long time sometimes to get people housed. So that is very challenging.
So how closely do you work with the local governments?
So we work with LASA, and we work with the mayor's office, and some of our contracts that we have. So in working with them, it's been challenging, but it's been great working with each and every one of those agencies.
Can you elaborate on the challenges?
So, with LASA, like I said, one of the biggest challenges is that, everybody's trying to get housing. Everybody's trying to move their clients to a better place. So the challenge is trying to get everybody, all 66,000 people, where they need to be. And so that's very challenging. Not so much with the mayor's office. The mayor's office has been great with our engagement teams, with our team out in Venice, with our teams out in Hollywood, with our teams out now in Little Tokyo. Our engagement teams have been well spoken with the mayor's office. And so we're doing very great work out there.
And you guys, Urban Alchemy, you also operate in San Francisco?
Yes.
And any other cities?
We're in Texas.
Okay.
And we will be moving to about 2 more other cities by 2025.
Wow. Expanding rapidly.
Yes, we're expanding rapidly.
So this is kind of, you are not just providing housing, but you're also providing services, embracing people, and it seems like that is kind of the way of the future. So do you guys plan to open more villages?
Yes, we plan to open more villages and more housing advantages. I want to say housing advantages and more. So like right now we have an engagement, which we call CEOs and circle teams that are basically the buffer between the police and us. So when there's mental health issues that need to be dealt with, instead of calling the police, we're like that buffer in between the police and mental health, because sometimes we're locking people up who have mental health issues, and we right now, at that particular time, we need sensitivity and not to be locked up. So we're those people.
So who calls you guys?
So just like 911, we get those tickets too.
So they alert you that someone is needed to help diffuse a situation.
Yes, there's some some unhoused people that are maybe doing some things that are out of the ordinary that may need to be dealt with through that venue.
I see you all over town. Walk me through like your average day.
So an average day is going to the encampments. An average day is not only just going through the encampments, but also having that understanding that people do want to be housed. People do want to get off the street. People do want to, be great. So we go through that course of the day. We write tickets to, get people into, that sort of housing. Not only writing tickets to get them into that sort of housing, but we also make sure that each and every person is treated as a human being and not just someone that's unhoused. I think that would be a great way to put that. We're making sure that we have cooling stations where we make sure that in this heat that they have water. We make sure that they have something to eat. All down Skid Row, we're doing that right now. So when we're going through the tents in Hollywood, we're trying to get them into housing. We're trying to get them placed. In Venice, we're trying to get them housed. We're trying to get them placed. So that's basically a day, And then at the villages, we're doing everything.
You're busy.
You're busy. If you're working at the villages, you're busy. You're doing a lot of things at the villages.
You mentioned COVID. Did that pose any particular additional challenges?
COVID, yes, it did. It posed a lot of challenges for a lot of people because it was, everything stopped. Everything stopped. But we didn't stop. We kept going on. We kept, this is when we had the bathrooms. We kept servicing the bathrooms. We kept servicing the showers.
And I should stop you so we can let the audience know the bathrooms were those mobile units set up on the streets of LA.
Yes. Right. Yes. So we continued with the bathrooms. We continued, doing the showers, all during COVID. Even though the world stopped, we continued. In our housing, it was a little challenging because of COVID and because of having to protect everybody from COVID. So we went through some bumps in the road where we had to quarantine because I don't know if you know, but with DPH, as soon as one or two people that have COVID, they shut you down.
One or two employees?
One or two guests.
Oh, guests, okay.
Or employees. You get shut down, so that means nobody's able to leave the facility. Wow. And so that was very, very, very challenging. So now that we've had we got a little grip on it now, we're able to move better. And DPH has lifted off some of the restrictions, so we're really able to move like we didn't move before, because at first we were so restricted in the housing part. We were so restricted, but we're good now.
And those mobile bathrooms and washing stations were lifesavers, not just for the unhoused, but people driving along, because everything was closed because of COVID.
Right. And they stayed open the whole entire time, so thank God for that.
And I actually had to stop and use one day, and I should tell the audience, the Urban Alchemy workers, they clean those units after every use.
Yes, after every use, and even at their villages, after every use, every bathroom must be disinfected. Yeah. Because of COVID, and now because of monkeypox, and now because of all those other things that are coming. So after every use, those things are being disinfected.
It's always something. Well, I want to thank you because I saw the lady with the spray bottle and the wipes, and I said, woo, she is busy.
Yes.
Well, this has been a very enlightening conversation. Thank you so much for sharing what Urban Alchemy is doing. Wanda Williams with Urban Alchemy, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And that's going to do it for this edition of LA Currents. I'm Anita Bennett. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.